For August the 7th, 2023, the invocation will be given by Eastview Baptist Church Pastor Shane Lawson. Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Commissioner Mike Hughes. Please stand.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and pray today. Thank you for praying for my wife. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to be here tonight, Lord, at this commission meeting. Father, I thank you for the men and women who take time to serve this great county of Bradley County. Lord, I thank you for the sacrifice that they make to be here, Lord, to make decisions that affect the citizens on a day-to-day basis. And Lord, I just pray for their families. I pray for them, Lord, that tonight that you give them wisdom and guidance as they make decisions that affect every citizen in this community. Father, we thank you for the many blessings that we do have. And Lord, I know there's many needs that we have in our community that everybody knows about. We need more people to work in EMS and in various functions of the community. And so, Lord, I pray that you make provision for those needs as well. And Father, tonight we just want to ask again, Lord, that you would guide and lead and pray for this wisdom, God. Again, I thank you for the blessing, this opportunity to be here. For I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Roll call is next. Please call the roll.
Mason.
Here.
Ledford.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Winters.
Here.
Beatty.
Here.
Hughes.
Here.
Alford.
Here.
Cry.
Here.
Blake.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Gilbert.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Goins.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
It's 14 present and none absent.
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome the Mike Griffin from the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much. We'll now go to the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Got a second with Commissioner Winters. Yeah, open for discussion on the minutes. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you very much. I would also like to welcome the two of the school board members, and we are delighted to have both of you here, Commissioner Rachel Goins and Commissioner Taylor. Thank you very much. Report from the county mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, everyone. I passed out a copy of a letter from the Comptroller's Office, which, as it says on there, this letter constitutes approval by their office for the county's fiscal year 24 budget as adopted by this county commission, and they ask us to share it with the governing body. So we have shared. If anyone has any questions, we'll try to answer them. Septic report, moving slowly, but still moving a little bit. The first batch of septic repair jobs, 89 contracts, 67 have been completed. That's up 5 from the last report. And in the ones that we're doing in-house, 18 signed contracts, 6 have been completed, up 2 from the last time. So still moving slowly. We'll get there eventually. Yes, sir.
We got any more money in that bucket?
I just hope to get the ones we got the money for done. But no, that bucket, as is spent. It's depleted.
I just want to know if it's dry or not.
The well is dry, I believe. Is that all, Mayor? Thank you very much. We'll now go to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion? Commissioner Thompson, Commissioner Gilbert. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mason.
Yes.
Ledford.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake. Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to the reports from the committees and our districts, and we'll start on our left with Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. But last week, I got the opportunity to attend the Economic Development Council at the Chamber of Commerce. We had a great meeting, got to hear a lot of great updates from Cleveland Utilities, Volunteer, about some of the Wi-Fi internet projects that are going on. But we also got to hear a report from Doug Berry as well. And I just wanted to mention this and just really be thankful for what the Chamber does for our community. And these numbers here are from 2020 to 2023. Since then, since January 1st of 2020 to July 31st, we've had over $931 million worth of investment into Bradley County, which has created over 2,700 jobs in Bradley County. And just in the last year alone, $797 million from businesses such as Bocker, Duracell, SK Foods, Formulated Solutions, Lindy, Samson's Control, Amaro International, Eco, and there is a handful more that are coming down the pike. And I think that being in that meeting and hearing those things, it really is a great thing when you hear about so many communities who are struggling with businesses leaving town, how poor the economy is, and when it comes to interest rates and all those things. But people are wanting to invest here in Bradley County. People are wanting to be here, and it's a good thing. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, Saturday I had the great opportunity to go to a ribbon cutting for a house, and Mayor Davis was there, Commissioner Blake was there, and also State Representative Howe was there as well. But it was Operation Finally Home, along with the local building association, ORBA, and Men and Women of Action, built a house for Staff Sergeant Alan Jackson, who is a Vietnam veteran. This house is 100% paid for through donations, debt-free, and they are going to be able to live in a beautiful home just right down the road here. And just wanted to thank all the literally hundreds of people who donated funds, time, energy, whether it was hammering nails or running water lines, whatever it was, and to all the vendors who were able to donate for this home. It was a great thing, and it truly is what shows what Bradley County really is about. And so it was a great day, and that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Next will be Commissioner Lidford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a few things here. First of all, I'd like to say the most important person in my life is my wife. She is starting a new pain management program, and I'd just like to ask for prayers from everyone for her. And secondly, I'd like to congratulate Piper Fowler, Cleveland High School girls wrestling world champion. It was a great honor for Bradley County, Cleveland. I did go to Cleveland for 2 years, and of course I went to Bradley for 2 years, but that's a great honor. Sean Fairbanks, he's retiring. Congratulations to him, and hopefully I'll soon be following. I'd love. And Alvin Jackson also, I'll talk about him for a moment. I was in the National Guard. John sitting back there, we were all in the Guard with Alvin. He was a great guy. It was a great honor to be able to give him a home. If you had seen his home before, I mean, the man tried, but he's sickly. But now Josh is correct. He's got a beautiful home to live in, the rest of his days. And very honorable that we done that for him, or that all these different organizations put together and done this. And I won't forget Charlotte Peak. She also was very instrumental in making that happen for Mr. Jackson. I had a dear friend at the hospital. He's a nurse. We don't know the troubles and the trials that people that we are around go through. So try to be kind and respectful to those people, because you don't know what they're going through. He was 37 years old. He left behind 2 children, and he decided he no longer wanted to be on this earth. He took himself out. So just prayers for that family and prayers for him, and just smile when you talk to your friends, because you don't know what they're going through. Finally, SPCA meeting, we had Wednesday, the committee meeting met. The committee is very happy with the new contract. They've hired a new CPA, Mr. Anderson, to take care of their finances. Soon to come is some more fundraisers, the Mutt Strut, different things like that. If anyone's interested in fostering a pet, they would love for you to do that. And hopefully back in September, they're going to come and give a little bit better presentation of their things to happen for the SPCA. Cheryl gave me some bullet points I wanted to read. Melissa is the director of SPCA. She also is a grant writer. Here's some things that she has done. In fiscal year 2023, she received more than $55,000 in grant funding, which paid for 2 new cat rooms with proper cat housing, thanks to Atlanta Humane Society, Petco Love, and Best Friends Animal Society. Sunrise Rotary Club done the flooring and the drains in the dog building for more efficient cleaning and safety. Feline enrichment grant from Pet Finder so cats can express their natural behaviors while in our care. Eaton Corporation vouchers for all Bradley County residents, city and county. Petco vaccine grant to keep pets in our community healthy and vaccinated. Community Foundation tech grant for computers and printer scanner to make adoptions more efficient. Secondly, adoptions are up thanks to adoption events with national partners like Bissell, Pet Foundation, Best Friends, and Animal Society, clear the shelters. Third is participating in off-site adoption events to get more exposure to SPCA and our programs, such as fostering, volunteering, library, YMCA, Willoughby Farms, Prior Tire, Bark in the Park. And they say almost half of their animals are in foster homes to help with capacity and housing. And they have 2 new board members, Brenda Voitek, who is Dr. Voitek's wife, and Bonnie Hathcock. And, Mr. Chairman, other than that, I did want to tell you that the Veterans Home, John, is that correct that they received their first resident? How many they got now? 4? 3? 3 residents now at the, I think the first one was a lady. Is that correct, John? So the Veterans Home is up and running, and we hope that takes off good. And I know it'll 1 or 2 every week, or 3 or 4, however many. But other than that, Mr. Chairman, the 6th district's doing well, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Mason, please.
Thank you, Chairman Cry. 6th District's doing well. We will have a road committee meeting August the 16th at 9 a.m. here at the committee room, and I should have a TDOT litter grant totals for you next week. That's all I have. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Next will be Commissioner Slater, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have nothing to report tonight.
Commissioner Goins.
5th District's doing well, but I would like to say I'm glad they paved South Lee Highway. I don't have to drive like I'm playing a game driving down through there anymore.
You don't have to drink as much now, do you?
I don't have to. I'm not going to say that. Now, if the power companies, if the utility companies would stay away from it, maybe it'll last.
Isn't it a given? Within 30 days, they're tearing it up. Isn't that a given?
Oh, is it up to 30 days now?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Commissioner Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, the Building and Land Committee met this evening and discussed Inman Street property. That's the fire department. We voted to recommend submitting a letter to the city of Cleveland offering 60 additional days for them to consider either a purchase or a swap for the building. Mr. Chairman, I place this recommendation in form of a motion.
Do I have a second? Commissioner Winters on the second. Open for discussion. No discussion. Call the roll, please. Oh.
Would you repeat that, Mr. Howard, please?
Whole thing?
Well, about the 60. What's the deal?
Okay. We were worried. Let the mayor explain that to you. It'd be a little plainer to you, I guess. There.
They had asked for an update on the fire garage on Emmons Street, how it was progressing. It's been going on for a long time. We're closer than ever, but we're still not there. We have a building that we're looking at swapping, but they're having to deal with the new owners of the Whirlpool property, so it's very time consuming. So after I heard that Howard was going to have a meeting with that question on the agenda, I talked to Joe Fivas and asked him what timeline he thought we could get there on, and he said if we would give him another 60 days, he thought he would have something to offer that we could work out. So the letter is basically saying that we're giving you another 60 days or we're going to do something else.
Thank you.
Okay,
Commissioner Blake.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, what exactly do they need to do with it? They have to.
Hopefully, they will have an agreement on the building that they're trying to get to swap.
I mean, the transaction that had to be with.
The transaction won't be done in 60 days, but
A letter of intent.
yeah, an agreement that that's what we're going to do, and then the legal process will have to work out.
I just,
Commissioner Slater.
Which building is it?
You got any inroads with them?
Well, I might have.
It's the, I guess it's okay to say, it's the garage and lot on Emmons Street, right after you go through the underpass, the old truck garage. It's got 8 bays. Basically, we're replacing a garage and a training room. It's got 8 bays, and I think we could make a training room out of part of the building also, and have a wonderful fenced lot also for equipment.
Commissioner Goins.
she answered. I was just gonna ask what the deal was, what we was doing there on that.
We told them early on that we would cooperate and be willing to move, but they would have to give us the money to build a building somewhere else or find a building to swap. And the building to swap, if that one works out, I think will be better for us. It'll still be a good central location for the garage, have the bays that we need, have the space that could be converted into a training room. So that one works out good, but I'm not involved in those negotiations, but it's like pulling teeth with that group that bought it. That's why it's all still vacant over there. Anybody that's dealt with them will tell you it's tough. So city's been trying to deal with them on it, and they think they're getting closer.
Is there any more discussion, please? Call the roll. Oh, Commissioner Alford.
If we do go through this deal, I hope we will go back and have us investigate and look into how much repair is going to be taken into that building before we do any swapping. So those buildings are fairly old. If my memory serves me right, I was just by there the other day and I said the same thing. It might be a pretty good idea, but those buildings look like they've got a lot of age on them. I think we need to really look at how much money we may have to end up in repairs and maintenance and everything before we do any serious swapping.
I agree. If we do that deal, we'll both be swapping old buildings, I can tell you that, and both of them have things that are going to need to be done. The main thing that would have to be done with that one is it doesn't have the office and training room per se, so you're just talking about 2 to 4 petition walls, but the building itself is in pretty good shape. Of course, it's a metal building, but I don't want to talk about ours. Commissioner Hughes talks about that enough. We both have issues, but it would get them what they need, and I think it would be a good swap on our part too. But we will look more at it once we know that it's a viable option.
Commissioner Gilbert.
Will they be, the new revitalization to the city of Cleveland, would they be asking us to do that? Because they're going to come back, I'm sure, and want it to make it look a certain way, right? No?
No, what we're really looking at is we give you this, you give us this, and we do what we want to with yours, and you do what you want to with ours,
Okay.
if it works out. All that's so hypothetical, I hesitate, but you know what I'm saying. I think it's a doable deal. We've looked at others in the past that for whatever reason didn't work out. I think this one's doable, but I don't know what the offer's going to be exactly until they get it worked out with them.
Gotcha.
Then it'll come back to you, of course, but I've just not got to the
One
point of
question.
bringing anything to you yet.
Thank you.
How much ground does that one have with it? Do you know?
How much land?
Ground, how much property? What's the size?
It's a large fenced lot. I can't speak for the city on what they might be offering, but as is, it's a large fenced lot.
More than what?
Oh, yeah.
Any more discussion, please? Mr. Alford.
I believe that if I'm not wrong, the city, I think they'll just go in on our, if we do the swap, they won't be doing anything with that old building, so I don't know if they're gonna put any money in the old fire station now, 'cause I got a feeling it'll be bulldozed down in a week after it's swapped. Just between you and I think they don't have any reason for that building.
I think it's more complicated than that, but I can't speak for them.
Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford. Cry.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you. Back to you, Commissioner Thompson.
Okay, also, the last, committee meeting we had, land and building, we also heard tonight that the annex and the archives projects to install security at the archives building, and also, knock boxes will occur this week on the building across the street. I believe that's the only building in here, Mayor, over here and across the street. So, that's in progress this week, so hopefully that'll be finished up, and we'll have some security down there, and, security and also the knock boxes on our buildings. Mr. Chairman, I have, two people would like to speak to the commission, but I'll wait till a communication from the auditors, that's okay.
That'll be fine. They'll be limited to 5 minutes then.
Okay,
Okay, is that it?
that's it.
All right, Commissioner Gilbert.
Mr. Chairman, the Juvenile Committee met last week. Judge Morgan and Director Towns reported that a successful Leaf Academy graduation of 19 kids announced a new recovery court will launch in October to help juveniles and their families with addiction. This is going to be a pretty good deal right there. It's going to start helping parents. I mean, it's going to be good. I like that part. They shared plans to start a new safe baby court in the coming months and announced that the recent detention center inspection results is no findings. We also celebrated a recent change in the truancy policies, which will allow the campus court to intervene sooner than later. Judge Morgan informed the committees there are a couple of state statutes that would also allow us to increase the funds by $25 and suggested that we might consider increasing, that it might increase the revenue for the department. We have an outstanding juvenile department and court. I appreciate the good works they're doing down there and the lives that they're changing, and I'm just proud of what they're doing. They're doing some big things, and it's gonna change some kids' lives for the better. This Leaf Academy, there was a couple kids that came in, and one of them prayed, and the other two said the pledge. You're talking about just filling your heart with joy. It just made me feel really, really good. I was impressed with the Leaf Academy. So, and also Bradley County Schools, new year and new beginning. I went to their function they had at First Baptist the other day, and you talking about exciting. It is exciting to get a new year started and watch these teachers. They was one of the teachers out North Lee that won a brand new car. And I'd like to thank Farm Bureau for the invite to come out and have lunch with them and speak to them. There was a lot of good information on the farmers and a lot of things that's coming down the pipe. The state and federal people were mandating on these farmers. and it's going to be pretty rough on them, but they're sticking with their guns and they're fighting right back with them. So, thank you, Farm Bureau, for what you do. And that's all for me, sir.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Winters.
Mr. Chairman, Seventh District is doing well. We're seeing 60 Highway very much close to completion around Cleveland Middle School. They had started school in a very smooth way. The traffic was not a problem for us that live right beside the middle school, so congratulations to TDOT and to the city schools and the county schools for adjusting to what's happening with construction. It's amazing that on the first day of school, we have a tornado warning. For principals and teachers, it's kind of appropriate because you know it's going to be a whirlwind of a school year, and it will be. But, you know, if you travel around and you go to other communities, you spend time with people there, you realize how great a school system we have, both city and county. I'm bragging on the county at this point. I have two family members that are leaders in two of our schools. I'm seated beside a leader in Bradley County Schools. And Commissioner Collins, the school board members that are here, kudos to you all. You make us proud. When we travel, and you that travel and you go around and you hear what people are saying about their school system, about how parents do not work with the school board, or where there's bickering and all that. You know, we have people that work together in this community. Congratulations to you all. Mr. Chairman, the Legal and Legislative Committee will meet this Friday, the 11th at 10 o'clock here in the County Commission. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. I would like to echo what Commissioner Gilbert said about First Baptist Church. That was quite a performance there, and our school system is up and running, and thanks to the school board for your cooperation. The next person is Commissioner Collins.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to again echo Commissioner Gilbert, Commissioner Winters, the chairman, and welcoming back the start of the school year. Ms. Goins, Mr. Taylor, thank you for being here. It was an awesome start to the year. And want to recognize also Ms. Denise George, who she's the Media Center Specialist at Charleston Elementary, and she was recognized as the Lily Frank Fitzgerald Staff Member of the Year. She won it for all the system, the county and the city combined, and that's a pretty big deal in recognition of someone that, you know, pours in time after time. And you know, our teachers, it's glad to have, we're glad to have our families back, our kids back, our leaders back, but you know, the teachers are the backbone of our community, and so I'm thankful that they are back impacting our students. I don't think there's an individual up here at this, you know, behind the podium that didn't have a teacher to impact them in a positive way, and so we're thankful to have our teachers back impacting our young people. So it's going to be an exciting school year. Thank you guys for being here today. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. It's all about the children, but you have to take care of the teachers in order to take care of the children. Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to first echo Commissioner Rogers' comments on the new home for Sergeant Johnson. You know, today is the August 7th, the day they set aside to recognize Purple Heart recipients. Sergeant Johnson is a Purple Heart recipient. Purple Heart is given to those that are wounded or killed in action. So just to recognize all those men and women who have received the Purple Heart, and today they set aside today to recognize those people. Also, Mr. Chairman, Finance met today. The county received a request from A Secret Safe Place for Newborns of Tennessee requesting $250 to cover mother's packet, window cleans, signage, surrender package, education videos, and printed materials. Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee voted to recommend approving the $250 to be paid from the Commission line 59 for this request. I place this recommendation in form of motion. Thank you.
I have a second, please. Second, Commissioner Slater. Open for discussion. No discussion. Oh. The name of the organization is A Secret Safe Place for Newborns. Mary can help me here, but I believe the concept is if a mother feels like they need to surrender, they can safely do it at one of our EMS stations. I think it's
a worthwhile thing. $250 is a drop in the bucket.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance also voted to recommend approving 2 budget amendments you have before you to move ARP funds into expense lines so that the departments may move forward with their expenditures. The first amendment moves $10,000 into an expense line for a copier in the accounting office. Mr. Chairman, I place this in the form of a motion. Thank you.
Have a second. Commissioner Hughes on the second. Open for discussion, please. No discussion. Call the roll.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next amendment moves ARP funds for the purpose of helping the Bradley County Nurse Home retain staff. Places in the form of a motion. Thank you.
I have a second. Commissioner Goins on the second. Open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Winters.
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Alford, please. Thank you very much. Commissioner Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing today.
Commissioner Beatty.
Everything's looking well, First District.
That's great. Is there any unfinished business? I'm not aware of any. Yes, Commissioner Alford. Yes, sir.
Law enforcement also, we voted to recommend to the commission a resolution to continue the step plan indefinitely. I don't yet have a draft of the resolution, but wish to place it on the August 21 agenda voting session.
Okay, so there's no vote required on this?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, no unfinished business. We'll go to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for Commissioner Winters, Commissioner Mason? Open for discussion. No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters,
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford.
Yes.
Cry.
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Goins.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you. Agenda item A, Commissioner Marlon Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a resolution authorizing Bradley County Mayor to enter into a 5-year lease agreement with Larry S. McDaniel and Coy D. Keck for continued use by the Bradley County Trustee's Office, the Bradley County Clerk's Office, approximately 3,733 square feet of office space, and a drive-through located at 1701 East Street, Northwest in Cleveland, Tennessee, for a rate of $48,000 per year. You'll also see the physical note. This will take us out to the 27-28 budget, and it will be the same amount every year. Mr. Chairman, I place this resolution in form of motion. Thank you.
Do I have a second? Commissioner Hughes on the second. Open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Mason,
Yes.
Ledford,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Winters,
Yes.
Beatty,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Alford,
Yes.
Cry,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Goins,
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
It's 14 in favor and none opposed.
Okay, next is communication from the audience. Commissioner Thompson, you have some people?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have, two people who would like to speak to the commission, please. Just come up and tell us your name and rank and serial number.
I'm Melanie Lawson. I was here a few months ago about my Ocoee utility bill from my water leak that I had back in end of January, 1st of February. Been to the 3 different meetings at Ocoee Utilities. United Way did graciously pay $500 toward my bill. I still haven't got any answers on why I pay an impact fund, and when I'm impacted, I don't get any kind of help whatsoever. My insurance, like I said, the last time did pay up to $2,500. The Bradley Cleveland Services stated that I made too much money, that I wasn't in the poverty level to get any kind of assistance. And then Ocoee Utilities graciously signed me up for a payment plan, which I knew nothing about. And then I have a denial letter also from them. But I have all this copies that I would like to give the commission and ask if, I don't understand, like I have also a copy of Cleveland Utilities. When you sign up for their services, there is a check this box if you want to opt into the Roundup program. There's a check box if you want the serve line protection, and there is another box that for the leak protection. Ocoee Utilities does not have that on my contract, and I'm wondering the legalities of that, of how they can automatically put stuff on your bill and make you pay it, but then not help you. I didn't know if anybody had an answer to that. And I have copies right here if anybody wants to pass those out while y'all are.
Mr. Thompson.
County Attorney.
It's not her job.
I believe Lori has asked me about that, and I've sent you all a response to that. It's been some time ago, but from what I recall, the law does not specifically require them to put it on the application. It's not that specific, so I don't believe there's any requirement for them to do that.
Even if they don't have any kind of protection, like insurance?
No.
Okay, so for the community, there's no services that anyone can offer to help on that?
They don't come under the jurisdiction of the Bradley County is the situation. Oh, Cleveland Utilities comes under the jurisdiction of the city of Cleveland, and our situation is we have really limited possibilities of doing it. But I know one thing: I'm not you, and you're not I. But I'd get me an attorney, and I'd let them know who I am real quick. But that's me.
That was my next option. So, but I just wanted to try to do it the easier way and try to figure out another way. But if that's my only option, then.
Commissioner
But
Lip.
also, Mr. Branham has another water bill that he's had an issue with
Right.
also that he was wanting to
Commissioner
discuss.
Ledford.
Did you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. Are you, I know you're probably going to grin at me. Do you still have water service from Ocoee?
Yeah, they have not cut it off yet, but I'm wondering, since they sent me a payment plan that I didn't know sign off on,
So-
I'm wondering if they may cut it off. I'm not sure if they will or not, but
May I ask the balance of your total due?
now they're saying it's 33, I think it was 3381, I think is what it was. 3381.46.
3,300, okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about your payment plan. What is the payment plan?
They've set it up for $137, I think is what it said, a month.
How lo-
$137 of 24 payments.
Mr. Gilbert.
Did they add interest to that?
Honestly, the way that they print out their bill, and I've looked through the thing, I've not seen how they tag that on.
Commissioner
Um,
Winters.
This is not your issue. I have one, where we're gonna have to have a new unit in ours. And we work with a program through the state and through our, energy supplier, to do a 5-year plan in about that figure to do what we need to do. So that's pretty realistic, for situations. Of course, we came back from a trip and we didn't have any air in our house. It lasted for 3 days till I could get people in there because it was unbelievable. And I know you had difficulty, but this per month deal might be something that keeps you out of legal fees and keeps you out of the other. And I think all of us are sorry for your trouble with this. We empathize with that, but we can't get to another installation and tell them what to do. So you could go legal, but you may save more money in the long run just paying $140 a month and bidding them goodbye. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Thompson.
I know there's a problem here, and, you know, people in this county, and people in my district and your district, when something happens, and the alternative, most of the time, is to come to this commission. They elected us to put us here, and basically that's what we're here for. I don't shun them for doing this because of the fact that we're here for the people of this county. You know, Cleveland Utility has the technology to where they can, I think, call you if you have a leak, and they can contact you and tell that you do have a leak. Well, Coy Utility hadn't got to that point to where I don't know if they have the funds or whatever to put that technology in. They do have the technology where they can go by and read your meter without opening the meter. You know, they have
Yes, they do.
a system that they can do that, but they haven't got to the point that they can call you and tell you it's a leak. And I know Melanie had that leak, but I've got another gentleman here that wants to speak to the commission, and I want him to speak to us, that has a bill a lot larger than hers.
Thank you
And
for your time.
he wants to tell the commission about it.
Oh, your name, sir.
Reggie Branham. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioner Thompson. Mine's a little different than Melanie's is. In the month of the first that this was brought to my attention was the November the 18th of 2022. I received my bill in the mail for $12,928.72. Yeah. So I went over there, of course, asked to see someone. They bring a lady back that's the account specialist. She's the husband to the guy that runs, or the wife to the guy that runs the place. To me, it's a conflict of interest, but I don't mind as long as my bill stays where it's supposed to. Long story short, she told me that they had an employee of theirs who was sent out. I have 3 meters, 2 3/4 and 1 1-inch. One of the 3/4 does not even have a service line. It was there in 07 when I moved to the residence. Never been hooked up since I've lived there. Ancient old. Their employee, and I was told from her this, that he wrote down that meter number, carried it back to them as the one that was in service instead of the other 3/4 meter. 5 years. That's when I get this bill. They was reading the wrong meter. Okay? They've admitted to it. So that bill goes from $923.72. In November, they start hitting me for interest. By January, I'm looking at a $14,299.17 bill. What can I do? I ask them. Well, you can come to the board meeting. We know how those are usually. They're hand selected. But I go through and I appear. There was 8 people in there. One gentleman's all that spoke. He had one question for me. Mr. Branham, did you not ever look at your usage? No, I didn't. I look at the amount. It's always within, my bill runs within $125 to $150 a month. Well, when I seen it was that, I went. Never looked at the usage. Long story short, nothing out of the board meeting. I get a call probably, well, I can tell you exactly, in the month of April of this year. Mr. Brandon, we've talked with our lawyer. We can only go back 3 years. Your bill's now $8,817.80. So I'm still required to pay this, and it was your employee that made the mistake. So I guess I'm here for 2 reasons. One, to shine a light on this outfit. And for 2, I think, Mr. Chairman, you answered my question earlier. Lawyer up and go see them. I pay my bills. If I had went down there and manipulated that meter and they caught me, oh well, I'd have paid it. That was their employee that made the mistake. And now I'm supposed to foot the bill. So, just wanted you all to know that's Ocoee Utility District in Bradley County. And I still have water service with them. They've not cut it off. They have hooked me with a payment plan. They chose $353.42 for my lucky number, I guess, for their money. My current bill was $131.35. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all's time for letting me bring that to light. Yes, Ms. Levitt.
Commissioner Leonard.
Yes, sir. Now, you mentioned you had 3 meters.
Yes, sir.
Is that 3 separate bills?
I've never received a bill on the meter that has no service line. Just the 3/4 going to my house, and then I have a 1-inch that's a total separate bill as well, and never had a problem till now.
So the meter that the employee messed up on.
Yes, sir.
Is that one of the 3?
It was. I come in, don't remember what month it was. They was down there digging up. That's when this was caught. They were supposed, the guys digging it up, I asked them, hey, anything broke or not? No, we're just out getting 0 meters up that's no longer in use. Well, when they dug that thing up, the concrete was as big as that desk. It was so old. They dug it up and got it out. Well, when they went back, that's when they put it all together that their guy, who's now no longer employed by them, had took them back their own meter number. That's the month that I got the $12,000 bill.
So the bill come from the meter that they removed, which now you only have 2.
The meter they removed was the one they was reading for
That
5.
was a part of the 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That was for 5 years that I paid whatever the minimum was on it.
So now you only have 2
Once
meters.
they dug that up, they realized this was a no-use meter. They see the other one's got the service line on it and do some digging. And if I may stand corrected. I think his name was Andrew Lawson. They told me the individual's name. He's no longer employed there. He's the one who made the mistake, which is neither here nor there.
Don't make no sense to me. If it's a meter that's no longer there and it wasn't in service, where did the water go that supposedly this meter used that was removed?
It didn't pump. There was no water ever crossed that meter. What they did was took what I used that 1 month after they dug that one up and read that one. That's how they come up. They went back that many years and come up with that was supposedly how much they had lost or didn't get paid for.
Okay. I'm confused, but I always stay that way. Thank you.
Commissioner Blake.
Real quick, what day?
Excuse me?
What day was the board meeting? Do you remember?
What day? That's when I run in on. It's been a clip back.
Been May of,
Yes, sir.
haven't had a board meeting. You don't know.
It took us months to get that one.
And
They
in
put it
this-
off for whatever reason.
In this board meeting, let you say you're kind of like you said.
Yes, sir.
And you got no,
One gentleman spoke,
like,
and he had one question.
yeah, one question. Mr. Chairman, I wonder if, I believe they are required to keep minutes on all their board meetings. Would it be possible for us to request the minutes from that meeting? I'd like to read over what they said occurred on that meeting.
I would be thrilled to do that, and also the total of the 3 meetings that this lady, she went to 2 that he did not go to. If we can send a letter to them, Lori, requesting a copy of those minutes in their entirety, if they have any addendums to those minutes. Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I think they have a meeting once a month.
Yeah,
What-
special.
Special meeting sometimes. They usually have one once a month. Correct, Mayor?
4th Monday of every month. Okay. Anything else, Commissioner Blake? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully we'll get some results. They're not under county control, but we'll try our best. Anything else, Commissioner Thompson?
That's all I have. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you very much. It's unfortunate we can't do more for you, but we can stir it up a little bit. Anyone else? Communication from the audience? What about, yes, sir, come on up.
Thankful, Chairman Davis, Commissioners, to let you know that there are 3 parties in the Bradley County Correction, Southeast Tennessee Veterans Home. The first one that went in was our good man, Mr. Norwood's widow. She was in very bad condition, staying at home. They met all the evaluations. Extremely thankful to be the first one in. They can't release that, but I asked the son if I might speak, and he's glad to. She is currently looking at more to be coming in. She's still hiring. If any one of you know of parties that would desire to work out there, they are looking very strongly. They have to have a high number of parties for a low number of care. In other words, 1 resident, 3 or 4 or 5 caregivers. So I urge you, if you haven't been by, go by and take a look at it. If you'd like to have a tour, please call the Southeast Tennessee Veterans Home, and they will be glad to set it up for you. Parents, friends, or whoever will. Welcome to come. Second thing is, I have been asked, due to all the fun I've had in the Bradley County Veterans Cemetery, why are your stones so clean? Easy answer. We work at cleaning. We have students come, we have veterans that come, and the answer that I had to give was that. The question was, what about the rest of the hill? Ma'am, I'm not responsible for that, and I've got enough bricks on my shoulder. I don't need to add that to my purview. Couldn't find anybody else much that did want to try to add it to theirs. So on the 29th of July, we had 23 Civil Air Patrol cadets, 7 of their parents, 3 of the Bradley County Veterans Honor Guard. They cleaned over 100 headstones. We found 7 veterans' headstones. We couldn't read them because of all the debris, the mold, and that sort of thing that's been on these for. One of them was passed away in 1942. That's 80 years. Nobody's bothered cleaning them. We're going to try to continue that. If you'd like to support us, I'll let you know through Miss Moultrie what day and what time we're going to try to do it. I was extremely surprised because I never know. Take a first step, but how it's going to be received. The young lady, Lieutenant Ella Kidd, said, well, I'll ask. We'll see who comes. He was the first one there that morning. I walked up. I said, anybody coming? He said, well, let's wait. Van after van after pickup after van kept on pulling up. And I just said, would you please stand still? Let's take a photo. That's how I got the 28. They all stood still. The youngest was 5 years old. I walked up and looked down at her, and she's down on her haunches saying, I cleaning, Mama. I cleaning, Mama. I cleaning, Mama. He didn't know any of these good people. But because her mother wanted to come to show how to care for others, she was doing the best that she could do. The oldest youth was 18 years old, 2 inches taller than me. He didn't have any problem at all in trying to carry around a 2-gallon can full of diluted chemicals to try to clean them with. So we're going to need some more supplies. Didn't use them all. I've got some left, but I've already had a confirmation from the Cleveland Fire Department. They will be glad to assist us from their end. I'm trying to ask a couple of other good parties around town if they might help us in getting more water. We can do everything else. You have to wash the chemicals off before you leave. There are some things out there that you can place upon them and leave them. Rain will wash it off. 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. Maybe you might get a little bit of washed off, but we want to try to take it fairly good short time. But if you'd like to contact me, Ms. Moultrie has my number. I think a number of you still have it. But I'm looking forward to doing one every month until it gets too cold to do it. Maybe next time we might have a few more come out. I'm a little short on hoses. I only had 400 feet. I could only come from the Bradley County Veterans water connection there at the pavilion. Was the only thing I had water for. So we're going to try to keep on doing that. I was very, very pleased by the number that came. Just hope we can try to care for the Bradley County people that passed away and are residing in Fort Hill Cemetery. Some of these were totally unreadable. That's the reason we found 7 veteran headstones. Totally unreadable. Question?
Anyone have a question? Commissioner Gilbert.
Yes,
I'd like to thank you for what you do.
Well, like I
That's
said,
pretty
I didn't
cool.
want to add another brick to my shoulders, sir. I have a list about that long of things that my wife knows I stick my fingers into. But one of the parties that asked me to try to consider this is a former employee here in the building. She retired. Yet I haven't been able to contact her. Evidently, I got the wrong phone number. But she said, I have family up there. I'd like to see it get cleaned. If y'all may have a family member up there, great uncle, great aunt, father, brother, or something like that, we're going to try to clean most everything we can, north end. That's the oldest end. Challenge that we have, having sufficient water to try to clean the headstone. And footstones, I mean, some of them a foot square, some of them are 5 foot long, okay? So the other thing that's going to add to that is I've spoken to a monument company out of Chattanooga that helps make the footstones for our spouses that are buried in the Bradley County Veterans Cemetery. And I asked him one day if he'd come by. He did when we cleaned ours back in the spring. Walked around with me around the cemetery. He said, Thomason, he said, no problem at all. You identify which stones you would like to have repaired. I'll bring my company up and all my people and equipment and do everything we can do in one day at no charge. So I'm working on trying to do that this fall. When it might not be so hot, trying to put a 500-pound stone back on its base.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why we can't find a little money to help you with help these animals, and I hate to put them before the veterans.
Thank you, sir. Please let Miss Moultrie know, and I'll be glad to accept any donations that you have, sir.
So that I don't know why we couldn't, if we can put it for the animals, why we can't put a little for the veterans.
You'd like to send that over to the Finance Committee?
Yes, I would.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Add that to the agenda, please, Lori, in the next Finance Committee meeting. We should be noted that we just approved the budget with $5,000 for the Veteran Honor Guard.
Yes, sir, you did.
And,
We were very appreciative of that.
well, I can fully appreciate that because I am, along with several others here, veterans. Those 3 people, it's about time that somebody got in that nursing. It's been dragging along for so long, and I have a hard time accepting the hiring of people because they've taken 5 RNs from the Bradley County nursing home, hired them away, which I don't fault the employees because it's more money, but it seems like they're doing their hiring. I just don't see the patients or the people walking through the door.
I understand that point. From what I was advised by a former retired sergeant major in the Marines, there is a considerable evaluation that has to be done from all the records, from all the doctor's recommendations, and the patient's needs, they have to be able to meet each patient's needs in a correct form and manner. They also had to have a number of certifications from state, federal, whoever, because they're receiving funds.
Sounds like typical government bureaucracy to me, and somebody needs to take a chainsaw to it. Commissioner Hughes.
Really quickly, Commissioner Thompson, I'm not against this by any means, but since you're here, it'd be a perfect time. About how much are you wanting to be looked at?
I guess he'd appreciate $1 if we give it to him.
Well, I figured with him here, he could give us a monetary amount of
Yeah,
what,
give us the amount you'd
around
like
about
to.
what you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at buying some more hoses. I will probably need some more chemicals. Brushes are $5, $6 a piece. $200, $250 would be well appreciated. Thank you.
You're looking at about $250.
Lori, can you?
I'd like to send that back to the finance and see if we couldn't rake up $250.
Lori,
Surely.
can you add that to the item, the dollar amount?
Thank
We'll
you,
do
Mr.
our,
Thompson.
we'll do our best, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Good day.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? George, we haven't seen you here before, and welcome, and we're glad to have you. All right, now, we have a road committee meeting on, what day is that coming up? What time? 9 a.m. Next Wednesday will be the thing. The only other, just a couple of other items on announcements. Work session, August the 14th at 12 p.m. Upcoming events, meeting with Senator Lowe, August the 9th at 10 a.m. in the commission room. It will be kind of a low-key thing. He's looking for points on what he can do in Nashville from us, and I'm sure there's a lot. Market at the Mill, August the 10th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the old woolen mill. We are